Hello and welcome back to another episode of XCOM 2. My name is Syken and today we're continuing our Syken Guide series, understanding the details of the AI. So, I repeat it every single time, if you want to become a better player at XCOM 2, then this is the single most important thing that you need to learn, besides how to trigger only one pack at a time. Today we're going to look at the mechanical units. I would say digital units to be more precise, the Codex and the Spectre. Both of them are interesting because they can either be very high on your agenda or they can be incredibly low on the target priority, depending on what you attempt to do. Let's start with the Codex because that's the classic one. Codex spawns in with 13 hit points. Both of them are fully affectable by blue screen rounds, and both of them are the reason why you should bring blue screen rounds to your normal missions, as these creatures are highly dangerous if not dealt with correctly. The Codex does have the ability to dodge, and whenever it takes less than its maximum hit points, it will divide the remaining hit points and create a clone copy of itself, leaving the original copy at the position where it was, and the clone teleports anywhere in teleportation range. That means anywhere within vision range. So a tight formation is a good idea. If you have a wide formation, then it gives the Codex even more chances to work with. So the Codex have two abilities. One is called Psionic Bomb, the other one is called Shoot. And it will always use Psionic Bomb if it can hit a target with that. Psionic Bomb is definitely negative because it's an AoE ability that doesn't deal immediate damage but completely unloads your weapon. So here's the thing. If you're someone who likes autoloaders a lot, Psionic Bomb is not a big problem. If you do have the chosen weapons, they're immune to Psionic Bomb, not a problem either. It just means you need to move. If you do have Wrath suits, any form of automatic movement, then Psionic Bomb is not a problem. If you do have a Psyops that does have stasis that they can do on your own characters, then it's not a problem because you can still shoot and then just stasis your own character, not receiving any damage. So bottom line is, whenever you do have either a way to not spend an action to reload or not spend an action to move out of the Psionic Bomb, then Psionic Bomb is not a big problem. They will always use that ability in the first instance, but there is a pity timer or a pity counter to it. You can only receive one Psionic Bomb per turn. I'm going to illustrate that. One of the codices will use a Psionic Bomb, likely this guy right here. The other one has flanked us, will move to us, and will take a flanking shot. That is, the game wanted to make sure that you're not ending up in a repeated cycle where you're being continuously Psionic Bombed and nothing happens. Psionic Bomb is not breaking structures, so that's important. So it's not exploding anything, but it is hurting other creatures. So you can even use it to your advantage. Templar with Invert has the option to basically invert enemies in there, and then they will take the Psionic Bomb damage. If you do have a lot of Losts around or other creatures that you want to damage, then that's a great way of doing it, to basically trigger the Psionic Bomb. Generally speaking, I'm putting codices very high on the target list because they do have low hit points. They have a clear counter with blue screen rounds, and if you kill them, you don't need to deal with them. Once they are repopulated and have a couple of clones going for them, it becomes very hard to get rid of them because typically, even in a tight formation, you can't reach all of them. So that's what I'm going to say about them. The Spectres are another noob trap because oftentimes you're going to find yourself in a situation where you want to attack them, but they have a lot of hit points. The Elite Spectres 25 hit points and even do have dodge. They, on top of that, do have lightning reflexes, which means any form of Overwatch trap against them is very likely to not going to work. The first Overwatch that would have hit them is missing. On top of that, you're missing a couple of other Overwatch shots, and on top of that, Overwatch shots can't crit. So there is a whole slate of reasons why when they are coming in for their signature ability, which is called Shadowbound, because why you can't just counter them with Overwatch. So that is not how you play against them. Their main shtick is Shadowbinding. That is the whole ability that they will do every single time that they can, meaning they will bind a character, create a copy of them, and then have one more movement action and will move somewhere in cover where they can do it. This is a dangerous prospect in situations where you have multi-layered situations, like House, for instance, where they will be able to just get out of line of sight, and then you do have a problem. Since they also can fly, they sometimes can get to positions where you can't get to, say high ground, and you don't have a ladder up, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a really tough spot. So, how to deal with them? I personally tend to completely ignore them for the first iteration. A couple of things that you need to know in detail is, whenever you do have a mind shield on you, they cannot shadowbound you. So if you put mind shields on all of your characters, this strategy will not work because they don't have a legit target, and they will resort to other strategies and to other abilities. I'll come to that in a second. So normal strategic interaction with them is, do not interfere with them. If you have shots left over, you can take a couple of shots to weaken them up, but generally let them just do the Shadowbound, and then you do have two options available. Option number one is, if you do have the Revival Protocol, which you should have, you should be running a specialist and it should be heal focused, then you can simply revive the character that has been Shadowbound, and that character typically has a good access to the Spectre and can revenge kill it. The moment that you kill the Spectre, the copy of that character will die automatically. Revival will not kill the copy, but it will enable an extra action, and Revival also doesn't end your turn. Spoiler alert, that's why a lot of the specialist abilities are so good. So, second option that you do have is you can simply kill the Shadowbound soldier, meaning the copy of your soldier that typically takes 2 shots though, and therefore reduces your ability to kill the Spectre. I would call both of these characters a design where they are trying to suck momentum out of you. Momentum is the ability to push forward to the target of your mission, and they will stall you. The Codex does that by reducing your ammunition, therefore making you scatter and then reload. That's a full turn gone already. The Spectre does it by essentially either focusing on that new Shadowbound soldier or needing to hunt it down and therefore getting it in a suboptimal position. That's what their whole purpose is. The Codex does it better, or is more dangerous in my opinion, than the Spectre, and the Spectre can be controlled more easily because the consequence of what you're doing, what they are doing, is not as vital or as bad. Let's do the following. So, following true to my statement, we're going to rupture this guy, meaning he will be ready to take damage in the future turns. And here is my prediction of what exactly is going to happen. The Spectre will try to come in. We do have a mind shield on Bonnie Wheeler here in front. So, no, Bonnie. So the Spectre will come in and will Shadowbound the specialist right here. This guy will use a psionic bomb on either these characters, or these characters. And this guy will come in, move, teleport somewhere, maybe over here, whatever, or over here, in a flanking position, and will take a shot. Let's see how good I know the game.
They're repositioning on us.
Alright. Still pretty much what I predicted. Different character. Not the one with the mind shield. Mind you, I didn't bring multiple mind shields. Generally, you should bring the mind shields on the quote-unquote frontline characters, and then the Spectre can't really go for them, and it rather goes for the backline and positions themselves badly. So there's the psionic bomb right here. Good. It's 4 characters, and now we're going to see an Overwatch. Alright, 2 out of 3. I know my game reasonably well. Should talk about Overwatch. Overwatch typically happens in scenarios where a current threat is being detected. So since you need to move out, this codex determined that it would be better to Overwatch. It wouldn't. It would have been better to shoot, but whatever. It's what the AI decides. That's how it is designed. So that's what you need to know about them. A little bit more in-depth knowledge around the Spectre. If left unchecked, the Spectre now is trying to vanish. And since it has whenever it has taken damage, it is going to use Horror, which is another ability that it has. Horror will deal damage, suck, and replenish health with the amount of damage. So it's basically a vampiric ability that it uses in order to regain health, and on top of it, it creates panic. It will use it predominantly on targets without a mind shield, although it technically can't know who a mind shielded creature is. But I suppose his Shadowbound gives him the ability to distinguish between characters that can be affected and not affected, and maybe the AI uses that as a justification to also know it for Horror. I've never seen him use Horror on a creature that has a mind shield, but again, that might just be bad luck. Typically the guys die in the second round after they behaved like this. Hope this was helpful, and see you all in the last episode of this guide. Bye bye.